just want to make it clear that I'm not a straight white male. I'm actually 0.7% black. In fact, I'll show you. Yep, there it is, boys. 0.7. I used to round that shit up to 1% whenever I would go to parties back in the day, you know, so I could obtain what the cool kids call street credibility. You can never be too careful when you look like me, you know. I used to walk in the club with my shirt up like I was flashing my piece, like, nah, bitch, I'm trying to keep the peace. What's none of my brothers in here? And if you look at me, I mean, all I gotta do is just turn my hat on forward like this right here, and with the hair, I mean, look at me. I look like I use racial slurs to get off in the bedroom. I look like I'm in possession of a thin sheet of ice and you're standing on it. I look like I call police over minor inconveniences and stay on the phone until they get there. I look like I make questionable remarks to all my female cousins at the social gatherings. But then if I just turn the hat on backwards like this right here, you know, and then, oh, he's just a fucking pothead. I went to the doctor once. They tried to tell me it was cancerous. They told me they needed to cut it out. I said, man, that shit can't be cancerous, man. He quit smoking menthols years ago. He said, Mr. Tucker, you are aware that this is a mole, right? That ain't no damn mole, man. See, just because I'm from the sticks, man, don't make me stupid, man. I ain't dumb, all right? I know what a mole is. Hell, I fucking see them all the time. I ran one over with my lawnmower the other day. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. You know, I'm also part Native American, which means, well, shit, I don't really know what that means, but I'm sure I'll be watching 007 movies all day, and if there's one bit of information that you can gather from everything, or one lesson to be learned, it's the fact that this guy's definitely HIV positive. Dude goes around tapping ass like it's a contract incentive. Dude gets more ass than a BBL surgeon. Dude gets more ass than a Taco Bell toilet. Dude's one shoulder kiss away from getting Me Too'd. Name's Bond. Jail bond was denied. It's just I've played enough video games in my life to know that storage is limited, and he's got all those guns and go-go gadgets. He definitely don't have room for Roberts and healthy contraceptive habits. So when y'all make magic, it soon turns tragic and your cooter gets ratchet. His name might not be Michael Jordan, but he hopped in that ass and hit that last dance like he choreographed it. I could be a rapper, like, I could, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got the voice for it though, you know, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's not intimidating. Playing Call of Duty growing up, we used to kill people and teabag them. Bond's a whole different breed. He'll kill someone and go teabag his wife. I don't blame him though. Every time he tries to settle down, she dies. And then he tried to settle down again, and then he died. So I don't blame him. James Bond is literally a high school jock with a particular set of skills. I don't really know where to go from here with this video, so I guess that'll do it for today. See y'all. You ever gave away something that turned out to be insanely valuable over time, and now you're just kind of kicking yourself in the ass about it? This one time I bought a clock from the Middle East, you know, real fancy looking thing, you know, but every time I turn it on, it just start counting backwards. So I just kind of figured it was broken, so I gave it to the elderly woman down the street with dementia. It was her birthday, and I hadn't gotten anything for her in quite some time. I was feeling kind of bad about it, you know, and I figured, I said, well, hell, you know, shit, if she can't remember her name, she damn sure can't, you know, figure out the clock's broken. Anyways, I took it over there, told her happy birthday, and went on about my day, you know, like nothing was wrong. The reason why I bring all this up now is because I'm convinced that this was a very valuable clock, and she knew that, because I went by her house the next day, and it was like she moved in the night. The whole house was gone. There was nothing left. No goodbye, no thank you, no cut from the piece. Nah, she just fucking took that shit and left, man. Hurts my feelings a little bit, because I really like that old lady, you know. She was the bomb, you know, explosive personality. In retrospect, I should have never turned that clock on for her before I left. Maybe she would have never known. Maybe she'd still be with us. You know, I mean, it breaks my heart she moved away like that, selfish bitch. Hell, where's the bang for my buck? That's what I want to know. It's all good, though, because if you know anything about me, I'm a big believer in karma, you know, and that karma, boy, that shit's going to blow up in her face. I can feel it, if it hasn't already. When I first moved into my new house, it had been abandoned for about 6 or 7 years or so, you know, and it was infested with those damn cockroaches. Not those little brown ones, you know, but those real big, giant ones that like to fly and shit. My Uncle Jerry came over, and I was telling him about it. I was like, man, I'm going to have to go buy some raid or bomb the house, something. He was like, man, don't even worry about that. You ain't got to bomb the house. I got a better idea. Apparently, Jerry makes his homemade roach spray with leftover chemicals from his science experiments. He sent me home with a batch the other day against my better judgment. You got to understand, however, that I did not have a choice. You see, off-brand roach spray does not work on these roaches, okay? You can try it. You can spray them. They're just going to laugh, smile in your face, and say thanks for the bath and fly off. The second I sprayed it, man, that shit started bubbling and foaming immediately. I didn't like that shit. At first, I thought he done sold me a can of popcorn ceiling patch. I don't know what he put in that bottle, but it killed the entire ecosystem. I find roaches lined up everywhere like it's Disneyland. I see roaches walking around with 3 heads, don't know which way to go. I seen one the other day, he had all his legs on one side, so he was just running in a circle. I wanted to cut back on unwanted pests, okay? I didn't want to recreate Chernobyl. I actually grew to like it. I wanted another bottle, but apparently Uncle Jerry's on the run now. He was making another batch of that shit in his backyard the other day, and I guess one of the school kids rode by on his bicycle and got a good whiff of that shit, and like E.T., he just rode off into the sky He's somewhere up there in orbit, I don't know. Anyways, Jerry, if you see this video, hook your boy up with another one of them bottles. I'm desperate. Eclipse happened yesterday. The world didn't explode. We're all still here, and I gotta be honest, I'm a bit disappointed. There goes yet another golden opportunity to hit the reset button on a failing society. First it was Y2K, then 2012, COVID, Baby Shark, Sexy Red, wherever the fuck that is. No disrespect to Sexy Red, by the way. He seems like a really nice guy. For real though, I am disappointed. I didn't even see shit yesterday. I'd even look up a few times to check, and oh, nope, that's all sun, baby. Now I gotta continue living my life for the rest of this generation and their intolerable kids, which I can only find happiness in the fact of knowing that they'll be bullied in school for having moms with OnlyFans accounts. Dad was like, son, you gonna go blind looking up there at that thing. I said, Dad, I didn't know I was raised by a solary bitch. Everybody knows real men stare at the sun. Hell, Uncle Jerry stared at the sun, and now he sees a solar eclipse permanently. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I didn't do it right. I'm still pulling for zombies personally, you know, but not World War Z zombies. You know, I'm talking about like those Walking Dead zombies, you know, or the ones you see under the underpass every time you go to town. You know, those are real easy to avoid. You just gotta ignore them. I do hope the end comes sooner than later though. Hell, I've been, you know, bank's been trying to repossess my car for the past 3 months. Mom keeps telling me just to pay him, but why would I pay someone who's trying to steal my car? Like, make that make sense. Alzheimer's doesn't really seem all that bad. Personally, I think I prefer to forget all the shit I've done. At least give me one of them little pens they use in Men in Black so I can forget what I did 5 minutes prior. Hell, anything's better than nothing. My life's been full of fuck-ups, mishaps, poor judgment, venereal diseases. Yeah, I'd really like to forget that last one, but then again, it is my own fault. I should have been paying attention in sex ed instead of trying to pocket the Magnum condoms they were passing around. Sure, I might have stole it, but hell, it wasn't no point. I mean, hell, it's a Magnum condom. I had to stick 3 fingers in there with it just to keep them falling off. Sure, you could say things worked out for me in the end, but if I start to look at it that way, I don't have anything to bitch about. My mental illness refuses to find that appealing. I just don't bitch vocally, you know what I'm saying? At least not at first. Usually, I like to bitch in silence while riding around listening to alternative rock music until I come up with a decision to make a video about it. My family already thinks I have dementia because I don't ever do what they tell me to do, which isn't the case at all. I'm just practicing. This wouldn't be the first time I got in hot water with the all-timer community. I like to think that over time they let that shit go, but then again, they probably just forgot about it. My granny's got it, so I feel like I can joke about it. And look, listen, I know that's the equivalent of like a white girl saying that she can say the N-word because she's got that one black friend from 3rd grade, but look, you gotta see it from my point of view, okay? I gotta watch the same episode of Gilligan's Island every time I go. It's getting closer to summertime, which means it's about to be hotter than a spoon of Whitney Houston's house out here. About to be so hot you'll see Amish people buying ACs. You'll see dogs chasing cats and they'll both be walking. About to be hotter out here than a redneck family reunion when the mixed grandbaby walks in. You can take a piss and it'll evaporate before it hits the dirt. You'll be feeling like Ace Ventura whenever he got stuck in that rhino. This heat will make you weak in the knees like a Bill Cosby house party. Sorry, my apologies. It's 2024. That award now goes to Diddy. It'll be hotter than Deshaun Watson in a massage parlor, okay? You'll have to share water with your shadow and shit. This is that special time of year where the AC suddenly stops working in your car and you drive down the road every day fighting the urge to ply yourself into the side of a pine tree. It'll be so hot out here, people will be getting baptized just to get in the water. It'll be so hot the trap house will feel like a walk-in cooler. It'll be so hot you can pull out a cigarette and no damn light itself. I can already tell it's gonna be hot and steamy this year, boys, like a crawfish boil. So make sure you put on your deodorant so we don't have to smell the crab. Nah, but seriously though, some of y'all do need to tighten up. Victoria's gonna go bankrupt trying to keep that secret. And the best part about deodorant is it's always free if you can run fast enough. And don't even bother coming around me if you're one of those hippy dippy sons of bitches or one of those, I'm allergic to deodorant. Bitch, I'm allergic to that funky ass smell you're giving off. They got to be a solution. People don't know that long before I started embarrassing myself here on social media, I used to be a track and field athlete. In fact, I was a track and field star. You want to see my medals? Aww, yeah. I used to love running, man. I mean, it just came naturally to me. It was like taking a shit after a long day of work. It's peaceful. You couldn't beat it. Anyways, I brought this up to my bro the other night because I've been thinking about getting back into it, you know, getting back in shape, trying to, you know, live a healthier lifestyle. And he actually made a pretty good point. He said, you know, there's no point in getting back into it when you really never stopped. Sure, I may have stopped running races, but I still run from my feelings, my problems, positive advice, the police, my past, my present, myself, the police some more. I'm not a bad guy though, you know. I mean, I've never shot nobody, you know, Lord no. I've never done anything like that. I just, you know, do stupid shit like light fireworks up underneath the neighbor's, you know, carport and burn their furnace. You know, hey, this isn't a mission of guilt, by the way. I'm just being theoretical like the rappers do. Judy, if you're watching this, I'm just joking now. Don't call the fucking police on me now. I'll come over there and punt that little ass chihuahua of yours so damn high up in the sky that NASA's gonna think the damn solar eclipse came back. Crackheads are like bad pool players. They can't help but to pocket the 8 ball anyways. I'm here to talk to you about your food stamps. In fact, I'm here to tell you that selling your food stamps is illegal. It currently falls under a Schedule 1 controlled substance along with LSD, heroin, and Katy Perry music. If you can sell your food stamps, then you don't need them. Besides, selling your food stamps is called trafficking, and you don't want to go to the pen with that misleading ass title. You got one time for someone to take that shit out of context, your ass is grass. You gonna get snapped, and I ain't talking benefits. Only thing getting stamped is your ass. After it's over, you'll be begging for government assistance, and good luck with that. I mean, expecting help in there is like expecting FEMA to show up after a hurricane in New Orleans. At least the food is welfare. Whenever I see someone desperately trying to sell their food stamps on Facebook, it makes me feel like I'm Georgia Power or something, because how the hell else would I know that your power's cut off? These are the types of people that when they get caught up doing this shit, the first thing they do, oh, when I find out who snitched, I'm gonna kill him. Like, bitch, don't you know self-harm is going to get you thrown in the psych ward? And just to be clear, I didn't make this video to make fun of poor people or nothing like that. Hell, shit, nah, hell, I'm poor myself. I mean, this content's meant to be relatable, except for the crackhead. It's 2024, and I identify as a dandelion, so whatever the hell it is you want, you're just going to have to blow me first. You can call me Sandra Bullock, because I've decided to leave the world behind in 2023. Here in 2024, if you call my phone and I don't want to talk to you, I ain't about to just sit there and let it ring all the way through. I'll decline that shit faster than Bud Light sales. It's just back in 2023, I tried to get with the times of political correctness, and I decided to identify as a dog, and hell, I got shot every time I left my property. At that rate, I should have just identified as Tyrone. It works out in your favor, though, sometimes. I mean, hell, the one time I changed my name to Bristino and won a state championship in girls' high school wrestling, and you know, I wasn't loved properly as a child. I needed an excuse to touch her boobies. If there's one thing I am cool with, though, it's some gender-neutral bathrooms. I ain't got no problem with them. You know, hell, I lost my virginity in one of them, you know. It was awesome. And, you know, I even told the door greeter on the way out, I was like, man, that was awesome. To which he replied, we don't even have a gender-neutral bathroom. And then I had to go to jail. I've had it up to here. All right, I've done had it way up yonder with y'all. It's just every single time I tried to get with the times this year, I got punished for it. And then they wonder why people like us don't change. I mean, hell, food prices can get high, but I got to go to jail when I do. There's an old saying that my dad used to always say, you know, you got to see it to believe it, you know. But in 2024, hell, you can be Ray Charles and see this shit. Boy, something ain't right. People these days just keep getting crazier and crazier, and I ain't got time for it, you know what I mean? And I can't even, I don't carry, because, you know, I scare easily. You run up on me funny, and you likely to catch a spray tan. This whole world would just be a way better place if I just fucked off, you know. And by I mean you. Excuse me, sometimes I, you know, mistake my vowels. Oh, I don't know who needs to hear this, by the way, but it is April. It's about time to put that damn Christmas tree up. They don't make things like they used to. Nowadays, the cars are made of plastic, the phones are fragile, and they took the cocaine out of Coke. Got a brand new iPhone, dropped it once, shattered it. Meanwhile, my dad's using the same flip phone from 2003. He's run it over, dropped it in the toilet, shot it with buckshot. I remember one time he threw it in the pond and it swam back. His phone did a tour in Iraq, okay? My phone got arrested at Coachella. In the movie Back to the Future, we have flying cars. In reality, we don't have flying cars because of drivers from Florida. Instead, we get plastic cars. Can they fly? Well, depends how fast you can hit that embankment. Someone was literally sitting behind a desk somewhere playing with origami and was like, you know what'd be really cool is if our cars did this at 75 miles an hour. They're cheaply made, so there's no point in getting insurance. If you hit something hard enough, there won't be any evidence you had a car to begin with. They did take the cocaine out of Coke. Now that's fair. That's fair. They took the energy drink aspect out of Four Loko, and they've been losing business ever since. It ain't quite as fun without the heart attacks. The dishwashers ain't as good as they used to be either. They only work about 3 times before they start saying shit like, it's your turn to wash dishes tonight. That was not a good my generation or older. You know what it's like to get in trouble by your parents and having to go out and pick the murder weapon. And by weapon, I'm referring to the good old switch. You ever get in trouble and you're summoned to go do this? Understand there are rules that apply. Rule number 1, never get an old stick, all right? Listen, I get it, all right? We've all been there. You go out there and you get the stick that's been sitting in the dirt since Billy Bob clipped it with his musket back in 1865. I went and got one of those one time and gave it to my dad. He reared it back and it just woof, turned to dust like Spider-Man in that Avengers movie. That's actually the worst mistake you can make, because then dad's got to go pick the switch. And that's rule number 2, never make dad go pick the switch. See, my dad was one of them cornbread motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about? Offensive lineman built type, you know? That motherfucker pull the whole tree out of the ground, roots and all, just gotta beat my ass with a stump. Rule number 3, make sure you stay away from them bendable switches. They can be aerodynamic, trust me, they will fool you. Trust me, they might bend, but they will never break, I promise. You'll be madder than a guy in Tennessee once he found out they started putting Sudafed behind the counter. It's best to always remember to get something in between, you know what I mean? You wanna take your ass whipping by a man, but you don't wanna leave looking like you just left a ditty about what happened to me at the gas station, right? So I was trying to get gas earlier, and I got cut off at the pump by some asshole in a Subaru with a fucking AC unit strapped in their passenger window by off-brand duct tape and the mighty mercy of God. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this pissed me off, but I try to be respectful. You know, I do have morals, so, you know, I approached her kindly. I said, hey, Miss Lady Bitch, you know, you cut me off at the pump. She got defensive immediately. She immediately became a smart ass. She was like, well, if you were here first, then how'd I get to the pump first? I was like, probably because you're more aerodynamic than me. You got that damn AC unit built back there strong enough to blow away a fucking small village in Ethiopia, make grounds for a Dollar General or some shit. She proceeded to call me a peckerhead, to which I replied, I am what I eat. Now, it's obvious I just lost the argument. But let me tell you something, boy, I did not lose that war. As soon as she walked in that store, I stole that AC unit, gave it to a crackhead down the street. Didn't even sell it to him. I'm like a walking pro bono in the crackhead community now. I get handshakes and hugs every single time I walk in a Waffle House. People can say what they want to say about me, but deep down, the other day, me and my buddy got in a car wreck because I was texting and writing, you know, like in the passenger seat. But apparently I was supposed to be like, you know, helping him watch the road like some sort of spotter for the military. Drive, drive, drive. Acceleration confirmed. But yeah, we got in a wreck. We ran off the road, hit a tree. You know, nobody got hurt or anything like that because, you know, he drives like someone's old grandma on her way to a dialysis. God damn it, there's fucking flies in my eyes. I can't even tell jokes. Fuck this shit. I fucking can't stand it. And don't get me wrong, it's not because my buddy's a bad driver. No. My buddy's a great driver. He's just not a good wrecker. You know, he's an amateur wrecker. Well, I had a buddy who was a professional wrecker. He got in a wreck and he died. He's in the Hall of Fame now. You know, my buddy, you know, he had that tree and, you know, he walked, you know, what did you get, a participation trophy in a pizza party? Like, fuck, what? A fucking laminated piece of paper? Like, come on. I've only been in an accident once in my entire life, and it's like I told that officer, sir, I swear I thought that stripper was a speed bump. I just want to make it perfectly clear that at the end of the day, this is not a me problem. Anyways, happy 420 to all you crazy sons of bitches, and thank you for the support. I had a great-grandpa fought in World War I, and he used to always say, you'd be surprised what mustard could do to a man when you put it in gas form. That's right, before Oppenheimer, we had Grimace, that fucking purple dude from McDonald's. They was out there blasting off condiments and shit. Dudes was out there meeting their demise at the hands of Heinz, abusing the serving suggestion and losing troops to indigestion. We won the war, now we put that shit on our hot dogs. Fun fact, you know who invented hot dogs? The Germans. Because we petty as fuck like that. All jokes aside, this is obviously not a laughing matter. You know, he got PTSD, whole bunch, you know, fucked him up real bad. It took him a long time to get over it, you know, all the energy he could muster. Ain't nothing you can do with him once he gets angry. You know, he goes to seeing yellow. Dude does got some serious problems, though. He tried to pull his Glock at the dinner table one time because someone tried to pass him a plate of tater salad. Anyways, the only reason why I'm telling you guys all of this is to explain why I prefer mayonnaise over mustard, because mayonnaise, no way he would have pulled that shit off on me. I would have slapped the Benjamin Button out of his ass, have him go to aging in reverse out there. My grandmama made that tater salad, you son of a bitch. By the way, just a heads up, I will be going live on my Facebook this Wednesday, the 24th. I'll have a special guest on there. Y'all come check it out. Yeah, long hair isn't all it's cracked up to be. Most of the time I'm mistaken for a woman, and every time I get pulled over, I'm searched immediately. The cops profile me like how TSA profiles the Middle Easterns. I was trying to explain this to my buddy the other day. We was riding down the road, and I was trying to tell him, I was like, look, man, if we get pulled over, just go ahead and step out of the vehicle. He was like, bro, that doesn't how that works. You gotta have probable cause. You're black and I'm white with long hair and tattoos. We are the fucking probable cause. We look like we just got done selling a pound of coke to a fucking group of dyslexic amputees outside of the Goodwill or some shit. And I could tell he was starting to get nervous. He was like, well, what do we do? And I was like, I don't know about you, but I hope he confuses me for a woman. I have people come and talk to me all the time, and half the time I think they're my fans until they ask me how much I sell my weed for. It makes sense though, because I mean, if you look at me, you know, you could find someone that looks like me outside of any Circle K within a 500-mile radius. Being confused as a drug dealer can be humbling. It can also be seen as a business opportunity. I mean, I wouldn't even have to advertise. Y'all ain't got to worry about me doing that though, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got my business license. Hell, that don't matter. I can't sell worth of shit anyways. One time I fronted my whole load off to this guy, and he never paid me back. He just ran off on me, ghosted me. And in my defense, though, you know, how was I supposed to know I was never going to pay myself back? People often ask and wonder if I'm like some sort of small town celebrity now because, you know, I got all these fans on Facebook and TikTok, and I'll be completely honest with you, nope. Except for that one time I got called a meth head in Walmart, and I highly doubt he's referring to my material. I mean, I'm pretty sure I do get noticed out in public, but I hardly get approached, and I'll be honest, I hope it stays that fucking way. Stay away from me. To clarify, it's not that I'm not a people person, it's just I was never vaccinated during COVID, and I waited till 2024 to realize that, hey, this is probably something serious, so y'all should probably stay away from me. I'm just not a good person in the eyes of the law, you know. I got a criminal record, got caught with a gram of pot, did a hard 10, you know, because, well, not 10 years, 10 minutes, you know. It probably would have went faster, but I had to get fingerprinted, you know. It was my first time, it was my first day. I knew not to drive while high, I knew that. But then I got high. I'm also a repeat offender, not in jail. I just wake up every day and repeatedly find ways to offend somebody. It's not easy doing what I do. You know, you gotta have thick skin, which is why I kind of wish I wasn't circumcised. People come up, you know, hey man, you're fucking famous. But where the fuck is the famous money? But sure, why not? I'll give you an autograph so you can go sell it on eBay for $5 in 10 years. Anyways, I've been busy the past couple days, but should be getting back on track now. Videos should be starting to come back pretty regularly. Gotta say that right. Peace, love, prosperity. I was watching the Discovery Channel the other night. They had 2 leopard seals and they're making love in a white sedan. It reminded me of this one time my homegirl called me early one morning. I didn't pick up the first 2 or 3 times she called me because I'll be honest, it was like 7:30 in the morning and I ain't nobody's friend that early in the goddamn morning. I'll tell you right now, you at least gotta wait till 10. Anyways, I pick up and she goes freaking out. Apparently she had unprotected sex the night before on a pull-out couch. Think of the irony. So she wanted to know if I could take her up there to the Walmart to get her a plan B. Like I'm some sort of taxi. She said she'd give me $20. I said, fuck it, we a taxi today. I had to ask her, though, because I got curious. I was like, why don't you just get the potential baby daddy to take you up here? And she was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I was really drunk last night. I really don't know who it was. And now I'm disappointed because if I would have known she got down like that, I would have been done slid in that ass. What the fuck, dude? We finally get up there. She don't even have enough money to cover it, so I got to give the $20 she just gave me back to her. So now I feel like I'm helping her buy the plan B. Now I'm starting to get confused. Like, am I the baby daddy? Like, was I there last night? Surely it couldn't have been me. I masturbated last night, cried myself to sleep. I don't forget things like that. The way I was always raised, was gas, grass, or ass. So the way it's looking, from my perspective, I hope you got 2 of those pills. I'm honestly joking, just having a little bit of fun here. I'm not that type of person. I just made her walk instead. The way it felt when I used to smoke back in the day. First, everything was funny. 2, everything was edible. 3, everything was eligible to sleep on. Nowadays, I smoke and it's just like... For instance, you ever been so high that you forgot your glasses left on head on top of your... I'm starting to think this shit might be laced. Every day they coming out with these new strands and shit, and trying to reach new highs. They got this shit out now, make you blink with your eyes closed and shit. I don't need all that shit. I just need something to calm me down. I need that right now. I'm like one mental breakdown away from 2007 Britney Spears. I'm just trying to chill out a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't need all that extra shit. I ain't trying to hear my taste buds or anything like that. They say, well, why don't you take a tolerance break? No, I like to not be in trouble. They give this shit out to the critically ill, okay? I'm mentally ill, that's close enough. My dad'd tell me, oh, you keep smoking that shit, they gonna throw you in jail. Daddy, this shit keeps me out of jail. My buddies tell me all the time, Bryce, I bet you'll be so happy when they finally legalize it. No, I won't. I enjoy being a bad guy, and if they legalize it, I'll probably go to rehab that same day. And that was a lie. Cinco de Mayo, I'll be getting Cinco de Mayo.